Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley, Competition Archery Media here at the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am, Camp Minden, Louisiana. We're here day one for the Mathews Shot of the week, and I'm here, of course, with Women's Pro Cara Kelly, and we can say Women's Pro leader Cara Kelly.
I guess, yeah. Sounds good, right?
Yeah, so Cara, let's go through briefly about your day, because we're on the range that you were on, range B.
Yeah, so we started at 8 o'clock today, and it was dark. It was kind of hazy, and the targets just looked dark. So I think right out of the gate, I shot an 8 high, and I was like, okay, well, this is a long range. Like, I walked it and looked at it and kind of was like, wow, there's no gimmies today. So you need to stay smart, get aggressive when you know you can get aggressive, and try to stay out of the 8 ring as much as possible. And I guess it worked out. I don't know. I mean,
4 up you're at for the weekend, after today. So
so it was a great round, and my goodness, a great range, brand new cut ranges.
Yes.
With a lot of challenges. So yeah.
So speaking of which, I picked one with what I think is a unique 3D, something folks will see a lot in 3D. And I love your the way you explain things. I don't know, you can explain it and I understand it. So I picked one that I think folks will recognize that they've seen a lot. So let's go check this one out.
Sounds good.
All right, Cara, so we have target 16 here, which is one of the deer. I can't tell them all apart. Which one is it?
That is the hill country.
That's the hill country.
Head up.
Okay. What did you shoot on this one first off?
I tend
Not your distance.
I tend it just below the upper.
Okay, gotcha. So I had mentioned, I had mentioned, you know, unique things that I think folks see a lot of in 3D, and for me, that is something in front of the target.
Yes.
Your eye just goes right to that, but that's not where the target is. So what's your process to get to where the target is and not let that tree fool you? Two trees.
So so obviously these 2 trees are completely blocking the body. So to be able to see the butt or to see the head, you have to move off the stake to see that. Right. So that's obviously an element in and of itself. But the first thing that I do when I walk up to any animal is I get a general, and that general, is it over this number or is it under this number? And that's usually a typical, like a big common number. So like, is it more than 40? Is it less than 40? Is it more than 45? Is it less than 45? Is it more than 30? Is it less than, so I try to do just very vague generalizations based off of like a snap judge, I guess you could call it. Yep. And then the rest of my time, I am judging the ground. I am looking at the lighting. I am looking at the scenario. This is a huge lane. This is one of the only big lanes out here. Yeah, right. And you're shooting from like a dark into the light, and the sun is glaring on this target right now. I'm also looking at arrow holes, and this is all before I even pick up my binoculars. So right now I can obviously see that the upper's been shot out on this target. And then of course I'm looking left and right to get an idea of body size, what's going on here, what's trying to trick me, what's happening. Yeah.
Do you do anything with those trees? Like, do you say, you don't care about the trees?
No, I don't care about them.
So you don't say, that's X distance, so
no,
this is the...
No, I don't. I go off of... Is that a trap? Yeah, well, I feel like it can be, because you get locked on the perception of the tree rather than the perception of the animal. Gotcha. And you want to be focused on that animal from the time you get up. There's a nice little wind factor here too, which you picked a great one. And then I'm locked on the ground. I'm looking at the ground. I'm finding, I do 5-yard increments. I'm finding my 5-yard increments. I'm finding my 20. I'm flipping my 20. I'm analyzing all that data. Gotcha.
All right. Well, I have a number in my head, like you said, and I'm gonna take a look at some things and see what I got and set my sight.
Let's do it.
All right, Cara, I think I have a number. So what
you have a number.
What I do is, on a lot of them, I have a target all the time that I shoot all the time at 35 yards. So that's kind of my...
That's your safety.
Base.
Yeah.
Are we farther than that? Are we closer than that? Yeah. And then sometimes, some of them just hit and stick with me. Like I'm like, that's that distance.
Don't you love that
Sometimes
feeling?
I'm right, sometimes I'm not.
I really like that feeling.
Yes. So I think I have a number.
Okay.
Now I'm blind, so I can't
Are
see.
you going to call upper? Are you going to run
I'm
lower?
going to call upper, yes.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it was
Does
just...
that change your strategy at all with your number? Based on where you're
No,
going
because
to aim?
I think if anything, I think my number is low.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm going to drop
And
10.
you're planning on aiming right at it?
I'm aiming right at it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well played.
And I learned. You taught me that
Well
last
played.
year.
I did. Yes, I did.
So, yeah, I don't. You're not a strictly one or the other,
I'm
upper
not.
or lower.
I'm not. I'm a person that it depends on the set of the target. This is obviously pretty shot out on the top, so people really enjoyed shooting upper. And it's what your eye's drawn to and where arrows land. Like if I'm third or fourth shooter and there's like a really good arrow to aim off of in the middle. And especially on him, because there's not much low on him.
Right.
There's also nothing out the top. Like if you really take a good look at that, there is no room for error on the top side. So if there's like a really good arrow in the middle that I can aim off of, and I had the pleasure of shooting with Erin today, and that she shoots a lot of uppers, so I love playing off of her arrows especially.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think you really have to pay attention to like arrow placement and where your eye is drawn, especially when you're the first shooter, and not being locked on I'm an upper shooter and I'm a lower shooter, because the sets and the way that lighting hits targets changes that for me. So I shoot a mix of both.
I started shooting uppers because I found, for whatever reason, just aiming down low.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing this as long as you have, so that
Well, I
could
think
change.
a lot of people that are newer to the game feel more comfortable aiming at uppers. I've been doing this for a long time, and we never had that option. So I became very comfortable shooting lowers. And so that's my primary game. That's where my pin just goes.
Gotcha.
But there's also a lot of advantages, and I've shot some of my highest games playing both. Being strategic on what's best. So.
All right, well.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let me double check my number.
Put it in there. You've got this. Watch the wind.
Yeah.
Take your time.
I saw that. I went just a little
Do not
over.
be in a rush.
No, we don't have to rush today.
No.
This is nice.
You don't have to rush.
So one thing I also wanted to ask you is, anytime I've seen you shoot a hinge.
Yes.
Do you, and other people bounce back and forth, do you ever?
No.
Don't.
I have 3 hinges that are all set a little bit different. And when I got home from Fort Benning, I actually changed up the timing of all those releases.
Gotcha.
I actually went a little tighter with all of them, and because I really just wanted to get in a little bit more and have more aggression, I guess, in my bowl. But yeah, so no, I always shoot a hinge, but I shoot them at there's different set ones. So I have one that's light, I have one that's medium, and one that's heavy. And I practice at home with the one that's heavy. I come here and I usually shoot the medium one.
Yeah.
Because it's always a little more pressure, right? Your heart rate's up.
Yeah.
And then shoot down is usually the lighter of the 3, so yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I switched to...
And they're not that big of a difference. Like, someone probably wouldn't notice,
yeah,
but I know.
But you notice. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
So I switched to a thumb trigger. I usually shoot a hinge better, but the season was going on, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not as comfortable, and so I went to a thumb button, and all of a sudden I was like, hey,
super
but I know
comfortable?
it could, it could just be honeymoon phase, and then I go back. But
Yeah, no. My husband shoots a thumb button. He loves it. I mean, it's all personal preference.
Yeah.
I mean, you can shoot back tension with anything as long as you learn back tension correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, well, let's see what we can do
it.
here.
Good strong shot. Wind looks good.
Oh, yeah.
I think you got it. I think you got 12. I think you seriously got it. It's for sure a 10. You're in the pie. Oh, I told you this was going to be the one.
My number is a little hot, actually.
No, you stayed a 10,
But
so it was.
I said
you're
a 10,
at least
yeah,
a 10.
I
You
was
could be a 12.
expecting it
You're in the
not to go
pie.
Oh, man.
You're in the pie.
Cara, are you the good luck charm?
I must be.
I just blocked the camera.
I must be. Awesome shot, PJ. You're putting the pressure on.
Oh, that's so
It's
close.
so close.
I can't tell.
It's got a sporting
My
chance.
pessimism is telling me it's out, but
It's in that pie.
it did go just a hair
It
right
did.
of where I wanted it, but not
Oh,
much.
it was cruising in. I'm like, that's going to be a good one. I'll come up and play upper with you too, because there's a really good marker. Right behind the pin. Didn't rise enough.
Just in the. All right, so Cara, before we go up there,
Yeah.
because no one's out here, so we can, excuse me, talk
We can
ranges.
talk it.
What did you shoot it for?
I shot 42 and a half right behind my pin.
I shot 43.
And it hit right behind me. Okay, so there's your
43,
yard.
yeah.
I mean, I hit right behind my pin. So have I been up just a little?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I play an opposite strategy. When I shoot uppers, there was a beautiful spot in that top of that 11, so that's where I put the pin.
Right.
And my game is always to add like a half to that or
Right.
a yard and let it climb. But this hit right behind the pin. So
Gotcha.
I'm always happy when they hit behind the pin.
So I'll mention this because people always ask me all the time. So I'm putting my glasses on, taking them off. My glasses are for distance. I have bifocals because now I can't read anymore. But this I just discovered this year too. I judge better without my glasses, even though I need my glasses for distance. If I have
Yeah.
my glasses on,
Do you know why?
everything looks, I think, farther.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're not used to that. Your perception is not calibrated. So the first time that I put on glasses, I remember it like it was yesterday. Everything looked like it was like this to me. Now you have the opposite problem, but everything looked so close to me.
I can't remember. It might
that
be that.
I didn't believe that target could be 50 yards because it's so clear and it's on top of me.
Yeah.
And so it took a while to get the perception right and to believe that what I was actually seeing was 50 yards because the targets were so clear. So I was judging based on how blurry targets were, like at certain yardages. That's what my brain had calibrated because that's what I could see.
Gotcha.
So you probably are struggling with the same thing, if I had to guess.
I just found if I take them off, my number's usually better than if they're on.
Well, you don't spend a lot of time judging, so
No.
you know, I was like, what on earth? I can see every detail. I can see rings. What is happening?
I can see
and it took a
rings.
long time to build that perception back.
Well,
train my brain.
the suspense is killing me, Cara.
Let's go see it.
I got to go find out.
Just
Cara,
do it
so close.
right. It's a 10.
So, yeah. And so we can talk because nobody's out here. So I shot it for 43. You shot it for
2.5. Yeah.
2.5. So there's our difference. And I think I was aiming like right about there.
Yeah,
So
you needed my number, and I
just
needed to
off
be
of
up where you were. I broke a little too low.
Just off of it.
Blame it on
But-
the wind. The right was on the wind.
So yeah, the wind there was a big gust and blew it over there.
Great shot, though. Great judge.
Well, this was one, like I said, where I just came up and just 43 stuck in my head. I tried to see it for something different. I'm like, I don't really see 45.
Yeah.
I don't see 40.
But you walk away from this thinking, I made a great shot. And you knew that it couldn't be more than that. So you played aggressive strategy at upper and still stay 10.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. That's like shooting an aggressive shot at a lower. I mean, if you reverse it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I know, I keep going back to, I forget who said, Hey, you don't have to hit them all.
You don't. You don't.
43 yards. I mean, that's at the longer end.
You don't have to hit them all. You have to strategize, stay confident, take the positives. This is a positive.
No, it was a good shot.
Absolutely. Great judge.
I can't complain.
Great judge.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that a lot of archers don't do, especially in the unknown game. Well, really in the known game too, is we don't look at the positives enough.
Right.
And we beat each other down.
That's
like,
a miss.
Yeah.
I missed. But
yeah, like my round did not start stellar today. But instead of like getting down on myself and cutting myself out before the race even got going, mentally you have to stay in it and know that it's not over until it's over.
Yeah.
And every shot counts.
So that's one of the things I appreciate about your game, because I've seen your weekends where you were like totally blown up the first day, and then here comes Cara Kelly and kills it the second day.
Yeah. I mean
that I don't have.
I mean, it's taken years to get there, but I think it's a lot of confidence and belief that you can play the game and you can do it, and it's just not over. I've seen too many crazy things happen in this game over the years.
I would imagine.
That you can never cut yourself down. And there's days where it's hard. Like, I mean, archery happens, right? Like, it happens. But I think it's just important that in archery, you're only shooting against yourself. So it's important to remember that. So, you rocked it.
Hey,
good job.
I'll take it. I'm still par. Always appreciate the insight, Cara. Another episode of Mathews Shot of the Week. Thanks for joining us.